Alright, welcome back to Toys channel everyone. And now I've got my PS5 as well as some of the accessories. I just want to share with you my first impressions of the console as well as these accessories and how they've really helped me with my streaming. And as always, please kindly like the like button as well as subscribe to my channel for more goodness and greatness. So as I was carrying my PS5 home, and the first thing that I can think of was the weight. It's really heavy in comparison to the PS4 or even the really chunky PS3 back in the days. Essentially, with this big powerful machine in the next era of next-gen gaming, I'm surprised that it was as big as this, but nonetheless this machine is powerful, it does its job, and it's similar to how some of the desktops are, so I didn't really have much to complain here other than carrying it back home with some difficulty. Wow, that's the new controller with haptic feedback. I'm so excited. Wow, it's really nice. That kind of feeling of holding it feels quite different to the PS4 one. So let's get to that later. And also within the box, we've also got the power adapter, instruction manuals, HDMI, the stand. I'm probably going to have it standing vertically. Man, it's quite heavy. So, as this thing is relatively large and heavy, I'm going to stop the videoing and I'm going to get back to you guys once I've got it displayed. Opening this bad boy up, the design is so sleek, and when I was pulling it out of the box, I was scared that I might be dropping it because of the sheer size, the way. As I was holding up the camera with my left hand and also pulling it out of the box with my right, so that was a bit complex and kind of difficult. Once I've got it all set up, I needed to transfer my PS4 data to the PS5, and one thing to note is that you don't need to transfer the games because you can essentially download them again. For example, I've got Doom Eternal and some of the other games in my library as digital form, so I had to re-download them on my PS5. But if you were to transfer them from your PS4, it will take absolutely ages, and of course you don't want to wait, right? So essentially just transfer the fundamental data, i.e. your saves, trophies, etc., and it will take around 20 minutes. Once it's done, you can log into your PlayStation profile and get access to what you have had on your PS4. Once I've booted up the PS5, it was really nice to see such a sleeker and more modernized interface, as I would put it, because the logos are more like the apps icon. And what was surprising was the first game that I booted up was the Astro Playroom. So essentially I've seen some footages of this game because people were saying how good it is in showing off the capabilities of the PS5. For example, you have the haptic feedback on the R1, R2 buttons as well as the L1, L2s, as well as you can really feel the different rumblings in comparison to the DualShock 4. It is a lot different in comparison to the previous iterations. For example, while I was playing some of the levels on Astro Playroom, you can really feel the rumbling will be skewed towards the right or left hand side depending on the surroundings. And because I had the 3D Pulse headset on, I can really feel the different sounds that were going across from the left ear to the right ear, and it's a really well designed headset, so I'll get to that part later on. What's more, this game is really nostalgic. For players that are like me, who has grown up with the PS1, the original PS1, all the way now to the PS5, there are a lot of Easter eggs, as well as it allows Sony to promote the different consoles that they've been releasing for the past 20 years, starting with the original PlayStation, then we had the DualShock 1 controllers, and then we moved on to the PS1 screens, PS2, PS2 HDD, etc. all the way to the PS5. So I'll just let you guys explore more of that once you've got the chance to play that game. It's a highly recommended game. They've really nailed all the elements that would make you have the emotional connection with the game as well as the world. Most of it plays like different genres of games being stuck together in one package. For example, some of the sections reminded me of the 3D Mario games like Mario Odyssey, as well as some are more like the Crash Bandicoot style games, the 3D action games. So all in all, it's a simplistic and a really well designed game that is definitely worth your time, and because it's free, I can't believe Sony released it for free. In my view, it's kind of ridiculous because, for example, back in the days when we had the Wii, they had the Wii Sports game, and essentially you had to pay for it, and that game allowed you to try out all the different motions of the nunchuck controllers. And now we are at the PS5 era, and Sony's just giving out these quality games for free, and it's much appreciated, Sony, so thank you. And the next thing that I want to cover is the interface changes. I am still not really used to it because I've only had the PS5 for around 1 week. So essentially I have to really relearn all the different paths to getting access to different things. For example, the PS button is a lot different now. So one press, you get the notification bar at the bottom, and whereas before you just had to click it once to get back to the main screen, but now you have to press it 2 times. You just have to relearn what you've been used to for the past 10 years. And essentially the games load real quick. Even for the PS4 games that I have reinstalled, it doesn't take as long to load in comparison to the PS4. Of course, with the power of the SSD, that is definitely handy and more convenient for the next maybe decade of games that are to come. And also the last thing that I love about the PS5 is that if you're a PS Plus member, you get access to 12 greatest hit games. Well, a lot of them are greatest hit. So these are a lot of the games that a lot of players would have played already. For example, Uncharted 4, the new God of War, The Last of Us Remastered. So there's a lot of goodies bagged in already, and you don't need to pay a dime extra other than having your current PS Plus membership, or if you're new to the PlayStation family. So the PS Plus wouldn't cost you a great deal amount of money, but just have it because it'll be a lot more convenient for you, and you'll be having it anyways, of course. The next thing that I want to cover is the HD camera. So essentially for my streaming, I had the Logitech C922 installed, and I'm planning to make a separate video for that later because I've filmed some footages prior, and because of convenience sake, I just wanted everything to be PS5 aligned, so I don't need to go through the capture card to get the footages from my PS5 to edit on my computer. So it's just for convenience sake. And the HD camera is really intuitive, and it's really easy to set up, because essentially you plug it in and you go to adjust your HD camera and just put your faces from the left, center, and then the right hand side. You've got it all set up. You've got the option to trim it, for example having it as a circle or rectangle shape. So it's just a matter of personal taste and the transparency as well. So it's a lot easier in comparison to sticking it to your computer and then do all the capture card and streaming, etc. So it's pretty convenient. And I love the design, how everything is aligned in terms of having the white aesthetics and also the more futuristic design to it, and it just looks pretty good. And I'm currently hanging it on my TV, so essentially I just have it there all the time. Lastly, I want to talk about the 3D Pulse headset. It's a really nice headset. Given the price, around $100 or so, it's a pretty good price for such quality, because it is a wireless headset and you can plug in the 3.5 as well if you want. But all the time while I was playing on Resident Evil Village, I just have it on wireless. And it's pretty nice, it's comfortable on the ears, the cushions are nice, the sound is great, and for a lot of the parts when I was playing on Resi 8, not getting into spoiler territories, but it does freak me out.
Oh my god! Fuck! Oh.
So I'd say it's definitely a good thing, and you can hear some of the fire sparkles on the background, as well as the footsteps of the monsters. So it's definitely a worthwhile asset to have in your PS5 collection. And also it's got the different buttons on the side, for example the power button, mute button, volume button, etc. So everything is there in the package, and you just need some time to configure yourself to knowing where the buttons are. And essentially I love what they've done with the mic button, because it essentially comes out and it's highlighted in orange once you've got your game muted or your stream muted. And when you press it, once it's in, you're essentially live, your mic is live. You can pretty much just speak and carry on with your voice in your stream. And also the top black rubber part is really comfortable for your head, and it doesn't really make you uncomfortable in a way that you will feel a lot of the weight to your headphones. So that's pretty good. And again, with the white design, it's so nice. I just love everything that they've designed for the PS5 lineup in terms of the hardware, because they are same set in terms of aesthetics and design, and it really carries you to the future, the next gen era of gaming. All in all, I really like the PS5 and the respective accessories, i.e. what I've got, the HD camera as well as the 3D Pulse headset. They are intuitive, they are easy to set up, and if you don't want to get into the hassle of setting up through your computer, as well as having capture cards, have multiple cables linking to your computer and your PS5, essentially these I would highly recommend because of the ease of use and setup. Also, the price point isn't too steep. So for example, the headset is a bit more than $100, and the HD camera, if I remember right, was around 70 or so US. So they are definitely worth the price in my point of view, and I would highly recommend them. And lastly, for the PS5, the DualSense controller is absolutely amazing. It's something that I've never ever experienced before, and in the best way, it really elevates that gaming experience for you. And if you've been a gamer like me for more than 20 years of your life, then you definitely appreciate what they've done in terms of evolving how you can experience your games differently. And also with the Astro Playroom, it's a free demo that really lets you try the functions that the DualSense controller has to offer. So I'll definitely recommend you to play through that game, get some nostalgia back into your head and have the emotional attachment with your PS5 before starting with other games, because it is definitely worth your time. And I still can't believe Sony didn't charge you a dime for it. And also lastly, for the PS5, needing to say it is real quick. The graphics is really good on the PS5, of course. It loads so quick, and in a few blinks you'll be jumping right into your game. There's definitely a futuristic function for the next gen consoles, and I'm really excited in how they'll be further improving these elements in the upcoming games, for example Horizons 2, God of War 2. So thank you very much for watching this video, and as always, please kindly like the like button as well as subscribe to my channel for more goodness and greatness.